Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all of you. On behalf of the organizing committee, we are pleased to welcome all to the final round of the National Level Teachers Day Public Speaking Competition 2024 in conjunction with the 53rd National Level Teachers Day celebration. Be relaxed and enjoy yourself throughout this competition. I am Nurasiba Azura binti Muhammad Qasim, your host for this competition, and this is Zohilmi, your timekeeper for today. As we mentioned yesterday, this is the first time we are having the public speaking competition for Teachers Day National Level celebration. There are 14 states altogether that participate in this year's public speaking competition. For your information, there will only be 4 participants in this final round, the 4 lucky ones. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our competition, I would like to invite the adjudicators to take their seats. Let me now introduce to all the adjudicators for today's competition. The first adjudicator, please welcome Dr. Primalata Anak Perempuan Baskaran Nair, Pensyarah Kanan, Institut Pendidikan Guru Kampus Antarabangsa S. And last but not least, our 5th adjudicator, Puan Afiza binti Aksan, Ketua Penolong Pengarah Unit Pengurusan Penyampaian PPPM, Ministry of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, all the adjudicators after the end of the 10th minute. Speech delivery after the final bell will not be scored. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, are you ready, everyone? Let us now invite our first participant to step forward. Please welcome.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Ten years ago, I made one of the biggest decisions in my life. A decision that today, sometimes I still sit and ask myself, why? My friends, that's right. 10 years ago, I decided to be a teacher. Research has shown that teaching is one of the most stressful jobs But at that time, I was determined to step outside my comfort zone and make a difference. And that is why this decision has allowed me the chance to meet a very special man. A man that I consider my mentor, a role model, and one of my favorite lecturers. His name, Dr. Raj Morgan Veerapan. Esteemed judges, fellow teachers, and friends, when I chose to become a teacher, it wasn't an easy decision. But I decided to step outside my comfort zone because I wanted to make a difference. You can ask any teacher here today, what is one memorable part of their teaching education experience? And many will say their practicum. Now, for those of you that do not know, practicum is a time where a teacher is assigned to teach in a school for 3 months. For those of you that know me, when I enter a new school for the first time, I would look up to God and I would say, God, please give me good students. Please give me good students. For my first practicum, I was assigned to the last class. Introducing Year 5 Makmur, the most famous class in school. They were the cream of the crop for all the wrong reasons. During examinations, they were the fastest to complete their examination papers because they would submit them empty. This class would never have issues with attendance because all they wanted to do was come to school and have fun. And they would never complain, no matter how much homework you gave them, because they wouldn't do it anyway. My friends, when I heard that I was assigned to this class, all I could do was ask, why? But I tried anyway. And the lecturer that I was assigned to for this practicum was Dr. Raj Morgan. 1 month went by and I was going nowhere with this class. And then it was time for my very first practicum. My lesson, simple. Listen to my instructions and draw a robot. Dr. Raj Morgan sat at the back watching my every move. And then it happened. Instead of drawing robots, my students drew aliens, monsters, and all of a sudden one of my students drew a pony? Where did the pony come from? After class, Dr. Raj came to me and he asked, so, what went wrong? Doctor, I think the students didn't really get my instructions. I think next time I want to try showing a YouTube video so that they can clearly see my instructions and what I expect of them. His reply, good, give it a try and see what happens. So during the second round of observation, I showed a YouTube video so that my students could clearly picture what I wanted them to draw. And to my surprise, they still failed the task. Dr. Raj came to me after class again and he asked, so, what went wrong? Doctor, I tried showing them the YouTube video. But maybe showing it once is not enough. I think I'll try showing it twice and maybe really confirm they understand. His reply, good, give it a try and see what happens. Seriously, doctor, you're giving me the same feedback? Okay, fine, I'll try. My friends, 3 months of practicum and I had tried all sorts of tools and techniques. I showed YouTube videos, I conducted Kahoot quizzes, I even incorporated music into my lessons. Were all my classes successful? No. But it's okay. Remember how Year 5 Makmur was famous for all those indiscipline and failures? Before my practicum ended, the school conducted the year-end examination. And out of 28 students, every single one passed their English paper. My students were so grateful that on the last day of my practicum, you know what they did? They locked the classroom door so that I couldn't leave. I was trapped in the class for almost 10 minutes. I was so touched, but also so terrified. To put the cherry on top, Dr. Raj gave me an A for my practicum that semester. Doctor, thank you so much. I've learned so much throughout this practicum. Good. Clarence, always remember, don't be afraid to try new things. And if things don't work out, it's okay. Learn and try again. My friends, in this modern era, teaching and learning is becoming even more challenging. As the years go by, the bar is being raised higher and higher and higher. The mission of the Ministry of Education is to uphold a quality education system that develops individuals to their maximum potential and fulfills the aspiration of our nation. To achieve this, we as teachers need to be brave in embarking and going beyond the blackboard and trying new tools and techniques every single day. What I learned from Dr. Raj is that it's okay to try and make mistakes as long as you learn and try again. I've learned from him that the classroom is and will always be a learning platform, not only for students, but for teachers as well. I've learned that teachers are humans too, and they deserve to learn and be given a chance to continue learning. There are many resources today that help us as teachers to upskill ourselves, such as the Digital Education Policy, the Lima 2.0, and many other resources out there. Today, I'm proud to say that I'm a Google certified educator, I'm AI aware and AI appreciative, and I know many of you here today are too. If we continue to learn and grow together, I am confident that we can produce digitally competent teachers and students that are globally competitive and can help carve the way towards a stronger Madani Malaysia. Two weeks ago, my state organized a very big program. The highlight of this program, hot air balloons in Malaysia. I decided to challenge myself and bring my students to this festival. Now, many might think this is just a normal excursion, giving the students a chance to ride hot air balloons. But for the students, it's an experience and a lesson to challenge yourself, to face your fears, and step outside your comfort zone. In fact, next week, when I go back to school, I can't wait to read their reports about their experience. Dr. Raj, I will always be grateful to him because he has pushed me to go beyond the blackboard and to try new tools and techniques. Unfortunately, 3 months ago, Dr. Raj passed away because of a heart attack. In conjunction with Teachers' Day, I dedicate this stage and this speech to you, Dr. Raj. Thank you for being a mentor and someone I look up to. On this stage today, I reach out to all the educators. Be brave, my friends, and go beyond the blackboard. Try new tools and techniques. Watch a fun movie. Bring your kids to the computer labs. Play Kahoot and have fun. And if things don't work out, learn and try again. Because if we go beyond the blackboard and do mistakes but learn and grow, we can carve the path to a better and brighter future together. Thank you.
Thank you to our first participant, and the time taken was 10.09 minutes. We shall now move on to the second participant. Please welcome.
Testing. Expecto Patronum, dear Mr. Potter. There are new spell books in town, and they are filled with dramas, histories, and endless supplies of emotions. The role of arts and humanities in education in a time of technological advancement. You heard me right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a resplendent morning I bid to our sagacious educators, rows of highly prestigious teachers, dedicated timekeepers, and last but not least, my fellow survivors of the great arts and humanity revolutions. Welcome to the magical world of Shakespeare and the Greek Empire. Today we embark on a journey into 1,000 miles, a journey of so many things that lies beyond our imagination, arts and humanities. My fellow diligent audience, before I proceed, allow me to lay out the potion ingredients for today. Firstly, we're going to be looking at the definition of arts and humanities. Secondly, we will go through the changes and challenges in digital education in terms of the 4 analyses that I shall dive through together. You guys are going to be drowning together with me in the 4-word SWOT analysis. S for strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I shall inspire you to change for the future. In this rapidly evolving world where the boundaries between physical and digital realms blur, the roles of arts and humanities has become more prominent and crucial than ever before. Well, let's take a trip down memory lane, a history that has forever been altered by a tiny invisible foe called COVID-19. Yes, it is a tale of how this pesky little virus has forced us educators to trade in our dusty chalkboards for a shiny brand new laptops and to embrace the new world called digital education. But the question is, the million question is, where do the roles of arts and humanities come in when we have so many technologies that perhaps STEM in our technology and in education? Well, let's go at the definition of this topic first. Arts, ladies and gentlemen, at the sound of this one word, some heart flutters, others skip a beat, and there's a rush of adrenaline for some. Well, for me, I feel scared. Arts is definition of emotions. Well, humanities, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about all the history in the world. Perhaps you have the better understanding of the world and what happened to the World War II, but it will not save you when you have a broken faucet or a broken toilet bowl in your house. But perhaps it will definitely be a very way of surprising and challenging you in many ways. That is a really too specific and personal definition of arts and humanities. Now let's look at the strength of arts. In today's modern world, ladies and gentlemen, creativity and critical thinking are two things that should be the main focus, and arts and humanity offer them. I know STEM has been one of the famous subjects in school. We got so many issues back then where the less students are taking STEM subject. But hey, STEM offers you opportunity to create rockets and to dissect frogs. But arts actually challenges you to know the value why you kill that frogs, is to appreciate every creature. While rockets you might be creating for something else, but in the world of humanity, not to kill others with rockets. We can go to the moon in 1969, but come back not to destroy other places. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to get very sentimental because we're going to go into Shakespeare now. In 15th century, we talk about why the role of arts and humanity has come more prominent than we ever today. Because with arts and humanity, we can read word by word and understand meaning lines between lines. If all the world is the stage, on the man and woman merely players, surely each and every one of us has a role to play. We all got our exits and our entrances. Surely arts and humanity, they got their roles as well. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat things up. I know things can be so daunting and intimidating at the same time. Let's go to the weaknesses of arts and humanities. Well, you talk about money, I want to talk about revenues. Arts doesn't really offer you much money. To be honest, ladies and gentlemen, that is what's happening in the world. We have STEM subject. This offers you more chances in life. So therefore, job opportunities is limited when it comes to arts and humanities. Perhaps a world has to learn and to accept and value the concept of arts in education. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know it may be something less daunting and less intimidating. I'm going to go to the rainbow and the butterfly sides of arts and humanities. Let's go to the next one, opportunities. YB Fadilnya Sidik once said, the transformation education that we are aiming today is to be at par at the world levels. KL, Kuala Lumpur Performing Arts Center 2024 has engrossed the idea of performing arts in theater. And this is where we are trying to create another motion in life and bringing arts into classroom and humanities, of course. And this is where we have so many things in life. Student learns the different genres of things. Perhaps romance, right? We all love romance, don't we? Admit it, I know. Who wouldn't love a movie genres of romance that could pull your heartstring and leave your boxes of tissues empty? What about rom-com? It's a combination of comedy and romantic genres, but perhaps an action-packed films. These are the genres that can inspire kids nowadays because arts and humanities plays an important role. Opportunities also offer what happened in the UK. The UK United Kingdom education system apply one to K1, K2, and K3. Student learns arts in a drama class. They have a separate English and they have a separate drama class. This makes them more vulnerable to creativity. That offers the opportunity. Another thing that I would like to stress here, ladies and gentlemen, opportunities that comes together is the arts offer you integration of technology. We don't really have any more Shakespeare in hard book. We can have Canva nowadays in Shakespeare. No more longer from the place on stage. We can have sitting here and be watching something in the US. Perhaps another challenging thing that I love to stress that we have STEM, that everybody knows that is science, technology, engineering, and maths. Now we add the A, is STEAM, which is quite interesting because the arts has finally gotten the place in our education system. It becomes STEAM as for the science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths. Make it STEAM nowadays, people. STEAM yourself because you know that things will go forward. We are so lacking behind. As I said before, YB Fadilnya stated that once our education to strive and be par with the other world education, years ahead of us. Maybe we should start with baby steps right now. The last thing, ladies and gentlemen, we want to go to the threats. Yeah, let's go a history lesson a little bit. Created by Leonardo DiCaprio? No, Da Vinci. Well done, guys. Right, so Leonardo da Vinci. Yes, in 1503 until 1519, 16 years is the time frame for a priest to be completed. So arts as a thread of time, because the time constraint for one to be used as a quality one. So it takes time for arts to emerge and humanities to come. Therefore, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, arts and humanity in education are not always right. There doesn't make perfect sense because they are like roller coaster ride. There are ups and downs, there are odds and ends every now and then. Only you have the power to decide. As I would love to quote my favorite author, J.K. Rowling once said that happiness can be found even in the darkest hour. Only you remember to turn on the light. Therefore, be the light of arts and humanity.
Thank you to our second participant with the time taken 10.01 minutes. Let us now welcome our third participant.
Mic test. Mic test 1, 2, 3. Mic test 1, 2, 3. Right, thank you. I'm a police officer that helps to control a naughty child. I'm a nurse that cleans cuts, wounds, and scrapes. I'm a decorator designing the walls in my classroom. I am a librarian bringing the storybooks to life. But most of all, I'm proud to be all of this because we are teachers. Now, my fellow friends, doesn't this poem resonate with us? Aren't we proud to be teachers? Yes, we are. We are proud to be teachers. But now I would like all of you to close your eyes and go back in a moment of time and think about a time when you had to be a police officer, a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, and maybe even a librarian. Isn't that a beautiful memory? Do you think about it. Why did your child come to you for these experiences? Do you think you have empathy in you? Do you think it is important to have empathy? Do you think we are ready, the teachers of tomorrow, to lead with empathy? My fellow educators, adjudicators, members of the floor, and members online, a very warm welcome I bid to all of you. UPSR Results Day. Small school, Tamil school, 6 students, 7 subjects. Results came out. Young teacher, eager, excited. The world is my oyster. I want to make a difference. Bam. 6 passes for all, 100% passes for 6 subjects. 1 subject didn't make it. Can you guess the subject? It was my subject, English. I was heartbroken. I was this young teacher, eager to make a difference. And this one child couldn't pass my paper, but he could pass every other paper. I was so disappointed. I was angry. I was upset with this child. And then this child comes in with his results in hand. He smiles at me from ear to ear and goes, "Oh my God, teacher, I passed 1 paper." English had 2 papers, you see. He passed 1 and he failed 1. And I, this young teacher who just came out of the teacher's training college, looked at his failure instead of his pass. I sobbed for 3 hours under the table in the staff room because I talk about wanting to make a difference. I talk about this, but I couldn't even build that genuine connection with this child to understand his feelings. I didn't have empathy, which brings me to my topic for today. Leading with empathy. Why teachers of tomorrow must understand their students' experiences. I repeat, teachers of tomorrow, why you must understand your students' experiences. Now, to me, empathy is not about pity. It is about building a connection, understanding. It's between two parties, the teacher and the child. There are many different types of empathy, but today I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about why it is important to have this empathy and why it is important for us to understand our students' experiences. Now, in our classrooms, we are always dealt with diversity. Now, when I talk about diversity, I'm not talking about diversity in religion. I am talking about diversity in attitudes, in behaviors, in characters, in learning styles. And through this diversity, we teachers bring out a versatility in us, in our education. And it is through this that we celebrate this diversity and build characters for the future. Technology is part and parcel of our lives, but there's also diversity in this. And the children of tomorrow, we are talking about our students of tomorrow, are very much in tune, or will be very much in tune with their mental health because of the society that we are in. The advancements, the development, the experiences that they are going to have. And it is us teachers who need to equip ourselves, the teachers of tomorrow, to be able to walk side by side with our students, to guide them to be better leaders of tomorrow. Now, the key element in this is through empathy. We need to find the key to their hearts, and it is through empathy. Let me share with you a story of little Kylie. Little Kylie was a neglected child at home because she had parents who were working day and night. She was the youngest of 6 siblings with a gap of 20 years with her eldest sibling. She watched TV late at night and refused to come to school in the morning. I'm sure you have all had this kind of students in your life before, right? What did you do? Now, when she had a bad day, the mother would shove her into school and run away, and she would then stand like a log at the entrance. The teachers would nudge her, she wouldn't budge. The prefects would coax her, she wouldn't budge. So one day I decided to try my luck. Let me try. All I did was touch her fingers, speak with a soft voice and say, "Little Kylie, shall we go to the class?" And I was the Pied Piper who led little Kylie into her classroom. Why? I was an English teacher in the classroom, and it is through that I built this bond. I held the key to her heart. And through that, she trusted me. And because of that trust, she was able to follow my lead. And this, teachers of tomorrow, to all of you watching, maybe some of you who are on the teachers training, you are the teachers of tomorrow. Remember, the key is to find the key to the heart of your child, build that bond, build the trust, because technology is coming in. There are a lot of other problems that will come with technology. For example, vulnerability, peer pressure, there's even a thing called peer manipulation. And it is up to us teachers to build that bond, to build that trust, to be able to unlock their hearts, access their hearts, and help them build meaningful experiences. Find the middle ground, find the balance between being a human, but at the same time advancing with technology. And only then can we give them a meaningful experience in their lives. So I'm going to tell you these 3 steps. I have said these 3 steps. The first one is find the key to their heart, which leads to a bond of trust, which then creates a meaningful experience. And this is why you, the future teachers of tomorrow, including myself, need to understand my students' experiences to create better future, to create better leaders. Now, before I take my leave, let me share with you a story, since I know all of you love my storytelling, don't you? Little Nadia. I teach in a primary school, and she was 12 years old. When it came to reading, A+. When it came to speaking, A+. When it came to listening, A+. But when it came to writing, empty sheets of paper submitted to me. I couldn't understand this child. She could read, she could listen, she could speak, she could even help her friends in their writing. But when it came to her own writing, blank. But why? So I followed this 3-step process. The first one, I tried to find what is the key to her heart. I had technology, I used many different activities in my classroom, and slowly she realized, hey, this is a fun teacher, I am able to trust her, and she handed the key to her heart to me. And then I unlocked her heart, and then slowly I built this trust. And one day, as I'm sitting and observing them do their work, she's sitting in the middle of the class, helping her friends on her left and right, but refusing to touch her pencil. Something told me, I asked her, are you afraid of the red pen? This was just a gut feeling, and I dismissed it because I thought, who could be afraid of the red pen? It's the red pen. She had tears rolling down her eyes. This is a true story, my fellow teachers. This is a true story that happened to me. She had tears rolling down her eyes, and she said, yes, I'm afraid of the red pen. You see, she was from the last class. All her life, she has been told that she is useless, she's no good, she's a failure, and she will not be able to succeed. And there's a saying that wisdom comes through experience, and it is because of the little boy, Kylie. These are the kids that help me understand the empathy that I need to have in my students. And my solution was very simple. I told her, let me give you a blank piece of paper, and here is a choice of colored pens. Choose your pen and I'll mark it with it. My friends, in 10 minutes, she had 10 sentences down with a pink pen and corrections done. Now, wasn't that a meaningful experience to my child? Leading with empathy is so important for teachers of tomorrow. And before I end the poem I said earlier, I would like to add one more sentence to that. I am a therapist who understands my students' experiences and lead with empathy because the young hearts, the young minds, the precious children of tomorrow need you. Thank you.
Thank you to our third participant. And the time taken was 9.56 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that you are very eager and very excited watching this public speaking competition. However, unfortunately, we need to inform you that this is our last participant for today. So we would like to welcome the fourth participant.
Test. Check, check. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Azura, Master of Ceremony, honorable judges, timekeeper, distinguished guests, fellow participants, students, ex-lecturers, friends, and teachers. How's everyone this morning? Good? Well, good morning, everyone. Everyone seems to be in high spirits, so let's dive right into it. My topic for today, teaching soft skills in a technology-driven world. Now, yesterday, when I went to the judges' table, I picked up the envelope, I looked at the topic, and I went, I have got some interesting stories to tell for this one. Imagine the year 1999. An 8-year-old me, sitting quietly, my nose buried deep in my Enid Blyton book, my mom cooking up a storm in the kitchen, and she goes, "Dear, can you go to Asyam's house and get some karople?" So now you may be wondering, who is Asyam and what is karople? Well, karople is curry leaves and Asyam is my elderly Chinese neighbor. So I begrudgingly put the book down, walk out of the house, go to Asyam's house, knock on her door and say, "Can I get some karople?" And she goes like, "Sure, take it." Go to the garden, pick the karople, give it to my mom, come back to the room where now I see my 3 brothers huddled together, plotting a swimming trip. They would then go out the door, collect all the boys from the neighbors' houses, go for their swimming trip, have fun, and sometimes come home late and get whacked by my dad, but they'd go to bed happy. If you're like me and you grow up in the 90s or the 80s, we had such fun childhood, didn't we? We had joy, we had fun, and we had seasons in the sun. But sadly today, if my neighbor, whose name I don't know sadly, needs karuple, although I have a pot of it in my balcony, she's not going to go, hey, yo, can I get some karuple? No. She's going to whip up her phone. She's going to go on the Grab Grocer or Aeon Grocer, and voila, she would have her curry leaves at her doorstep within minutes. Digital technologies, ladies and gentlemen, have become so pervasive in our lives. We now have apps for everything. You need food, there's an app for it. You need to buy groceries, there is an app for it. You need to meet people, there is an app for it. You want to get married, there is also an app for it. But sadly, the reality today is that the same technology that brought all of us together under one network, social media, for instance, sadly is also the same technology that has somewhat pulled us apart in different directions. Now picture this. A family gathering where all members of extended families are sitting together, but everyone is huddled over their handphones. They would smile looking at the handphones. They would then put the handphones up, click a picture, come back to Instagram, smile is now stopped, furiously click, upload the picture, hashtag happy family. But no one is talking to one another. We now have Industrial Revolution 5.0. It is an extension of the Industrial Revolution 4.0, where now 5.0 talks about humans working alongside machines. Because suddenly we have realized that Internet of Things will only be Internet of Things without people. Big data analytics is just hundreds of pages of reports without no humans to act on it. Machine learning is just artificial intelligence without people's hearts being infused in it. ChatGPT is now not a platform for people to learn. Sometimes it is also a platform for people to cheat and plagiarize. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that as new age educators, we have the moral and intellectual responsibility to teach soft skills. Now, teaching soft skills does not mean you go to the whiteboard and you write, today, go home, wash 5 dishes, click picture, write about how you felt doing it, paste it in a folio, and send it to my desk at 7 on Monday morning. No. Teaching soft skills is like brewing tea, for example. If you're a tea drinker, you would know. You have to take the tea bag, infuse it, let the aroma go everywhere, into your nose, in your houses, and then, voila, you'll have a beautiful tea brewed. Now let us define what is soft skills. The examples are far too many, but broadly, I would term it looking within oneself to actually serve the communities outside. We need to create future leaders and future generations that, albeit being tech-driven, can look within themselves to have the communication skills that we need, to have empathy and kindness, time management skills, while being tech-savvy. And how do we do that, ladies and gentlemen? Well, today, I'm not standing here to leave you with these big words, hopes, and aspirations and tell you all the best, good luck. May your children grow up to have empathy and kindness and learn how to communicate better. No. I would like to use the opportunity given to me today to leave you also with some practical advices. And this comes from my experience and also from the experiences of great teachers before me. I'd like to elaborate the ideas of 3 strategies, actually, that we can adopt as practitioners to ensure that we create a future that is filled with generation that has soft skills in their hearts. Firstly, devising teaching strategies that is effective, including group work. Now, this is a real story. I go to a classroom one day, I was teaching arts lesson. There is a girl who comes from an orphanage and she doesn't seem to have poster colors because poster colors are very expensive. And so I tell the boy next to her, why don't you share some with her? He goes, my mama said, don't share. That truly, ladies and gentlemen, broke my heart because I have been that child. Not that I'm an orphan, but sometimes, I'm callous, I lose things. And then I had a heart-to-heart talk with that boy and told him, no, you have to share. We can also devise learning strategies that includes distributed leadership roles. For example, you can let someone be a note taker, material manager, and a timekeeper. Now, what are we teaching our children? You have to be responsible for the time taken for your group to finish their group work. You have to be responsible for the materials that are given to you. Because if you break that pencil, I am not going to give you another one. Sometimes we have to be hard to teach soft skills. During language lessons, for example, we have 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. It is during the listening and speaking skills that we can infuse soft skills. We have to teach them. In order for you to be heard, you first need to have that empathy to also hear others. You need to say thank you and please. Moving on to my next strategy, providing valuable feedback. Dear teachers of the future, current teachers, we have to serve as a role model to our children by first providing kind feedback before criticizing them. We have to teach them how to speak with respect. We have to first respect them so that they will grow up into the world and become the kind of people that we sometimes wish we had. Oftentimes in arguments, I wonder, why is this person so angry? We are allowed to have differences of opinion. That is what makes me me, and that is what makes you you, and the world a uniquely better place. Like the famous quote once said, I may not always agree with you, but I would defend to death your rights to say it. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, providing valuable feedback with kind words, teaching children that sometimes arguments need not be a shouting match. We can have a heart-to-heart communication with everyone so that we can create a better world. And finally, before I leave, I'd also like to suggest that you give your children community projects so that they would go out of their house, they would go out of their neighborhoods, and they would see neighborhoods that they are not used to, that the world is not the same for everyone, so that when they go out, they see an orphanage, they would know that next time they have to share that poster color. When they go out in nature, for instance, or volunteer in animal shelters, they would know how it feels like to have the blades of grass under your feet. They would know how it feels like to touch the fur of an animal and therefore grow up to actually live and work for a sustainable world. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to conclude by saying that technology is not necessarily a bad thing. I would be a hypocrite if I said that, because yesterday I stood on the same stage advocating for it. But in order for us to live in this technology-driven world, we need to first infuse humanity, infuse soft skills into the hearts of our children so that the world will be a better place digitally and humanely. Thank you very much, everyone. A happy Teachers' Day.
Thank you to our participant, number 4. And the time taken was 10.38 minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with that, all our 4 final participants have successfully presented. Well, let me just share with you a little bit. We do have here Mr. Roberts, who is beyond the blackboard. We have Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio in the role of Arts and Humanities. We do have multi-talented teacher leading with empathy, I cried. And last but not least, we have leadership, responsibilities, respect, kindness in the teaching of soft skills. We here then will give our adjudicators a moment to deliberate this course. The results will be announced in the close